What is going on, everybody? I'm back today to talk about a new found footage movie that I saw when I was scrolling on Tubi. And I didn't know anything about this movie before I went in to watch it. I went on Letterboxd and read like the really quick plot description. It sounded very interesting, and I went through some of the reviews, and people were praising it and saying that it was very well done. And so that was enough for me to want to get on board and watch it. And the movie I'm going to be discussing with you today is Hashtag Missing Couple. Hashtag Missing Couple is directed by Jacques Edeline and Oliver Malden. Austin and Jana were a real van life couple on an adventure to renovate an abandoned farm in middle of nowhere, Mississippi. Cameras blazing, they chronicled their project on social media, but the farm was full of disturbing surprises, especially at night. Someone or something was stalking the couple. So I was really excited to watch this movie because if you guys have been following me for a while, I'm a big fan of the found footage genre. And I enjoyed this movie for sure. I don't think it's perfect by any means. It definitely has its fair share of flaws, but I do like this concept and the way that they approach the execution. I think it does a really nice job building dread and it makes you feel very uneasy. And I like the way that the narrative plays out. You kind of shift between stories and it leaves you asking a lot of questions. And I'm really excited to tell you about it today. So at the beginning of the film, we are introduced to couple Austin and Jana, and they travel around the United States of America in their van. They live out of their converted van with their dog, and they travel and they film things for TikTok and YouTube. They upload videos, and they seem to be living a very happy and exciting life together. And early on in the movie, they're driving to this place, and we find out that they've bought this bit of land in Mississippi that has a house on it, and it's the first time they've really gone to a place to kind of settle down outside of doing the van living. And so they get there, and the house is really beat up, but it's a ton of land, and it's a beautiful property. They have this big body of water on the property. They have these beautiful woods that they can hike through. And so at the beginning, it's them just kind of navigating this area and learning about where they live. Well, very shortly into the film, we are told that they have disappeared, and we're introduced to this new character who is this guy that is investigating their disappearance. And he's been watching their videos and analyzing their videos. He has figured out where this property of land is. And so he's talking to his social media followers and saying, I'm going to go there and figure out what happened to them. So he travels to the property, and the story simultaneously jumps us back and forth between the story of the couple and this man trying to find them and learning what mystery is going on at this property. So like I said, I really enjoyed this. I do think it falls into some of the normal tropes that you see in found footage, but it also does a lot of things that I think are very respectable. For starters, it feels very real. And when it comes to found footage, that's what you need. You need situations to feel real, and you need characters to feel like actual human beings. And this really does just feel like a couple who is trying to build a life for themselves in this new place. I really like the way that we learn information about this place that they're living and how they go into town. The Jana goes to the library to try to study what's going on at their property, and how it's not just like jump scares. You're getting like weird things in the background. And because there's so many shots of like the expansive forest, you're always looking around the corner to see if there's something standing behind them. And I really like that. I think the creators of this movie do a really nice job at kind of building that tension for you as an audience member and saying like something could happen at any moment. And I like when they introduce this new character who's going to investigate their disappearance. He's not safe either, which is something I really appreciate. It's like that looming sense of dread always exists. And there's a lot of really great, truly scary moments in this movie that I think that they executed really well. I like that they introduce some tension between the couple because you start to ask, like, is he toying with her? Is this just all psychological because they're like isolated in this place? She's starting to struggle being around him because he's seemingly being mean to her and kind of off-putting. And so it's interesting. They instill these ideas in your brain, and then the guy investigating, you're like, is he a part of their disappearance? Is he just like obsessed with them? What's going on with him? And I think those questions that the filmmakers are continuously asking is what makes the movie such an exciting watch. I do think there are some moments in the middle to third act that are very cliche when it comes to found footage, as to like the reveal. You sort of get a reveal as to what's going on, but like the way some of the scares happen towards the tail end, very similar to things that you've seen in found footage before. But I think so much of the early to middle part of the movie, the execution is so solid and handled very well that it's impossible to not stay immersed through the runtime. I really appreciated that a lot about this movie. And I think if you're a fan of found footage, there's something here to like. I know there's been a ton of movies recently about like influencer culture and like horror movies centered around influencers, but I think this movie does a really nice job at being unique enough that it makes it an enjoyable watch. And obviously, Tubi, free streaming service. If you're looking for a fun found footage movie, you could do a lot worse than Missing Couple. So have you seen hashtag Missing Couple? Did you love it? Did you hate it? Leave me a comment down below and let me know what you thought. I thought this movie was very entertaining. I really enjoyed it. Despite the fact that it had some flaws, I still think it's worth checking out. As always, if you can like the video and subscribe to the channel, it helps me out a lot and lets me know the type of content you're looking for. I'm always putting out new material and look forward to getting more out for you in the near future. And as always, everyone, thank you so much for watching and have a great rest of your day.